Hello everyone. You are here. This means you are serious about knowing how psychometric assessment works and how one can take the advantage of the test. So let's watch this video to understand the psychometric assessment, underlying theories, and how it calculates the individual scores. Definitely, once these scores will be available, then career counselor evaluate and find out the correct career option based on the traits measured by the psychometric assessment. My name is Gautam Mandal and I'm your coach for today. Before we start talking about psychometric assessment, let's talk about the branch called psychometrics, which is a study and the measurement of various psychological components, or you can say the traits. The measurement of skills and the knowledge of a person, his abilities, his attitudes, various personality traits, various clinical constructs, and educational achievement. Today, most of our career counselors, schools, companies, and other educational institutions use this test to know more about the candidate's aptitude, personality, and interest. To understand, let's discuss about various underlying theories behind it. Psychometricians have developed a number of different measurement theories, but the theories that mostly adopted and used by the counselors today are the Cattle-Horn-Carroll's theory, which we normally call CSC theory, five-factor model theory, Holland's theory of vocation. Now, Cattle-Horn-Carroll's theory is responsible for measurement of aptitude. Five-factor models is responsible for measurement of the personality traits, and Holland's theory of vocation for interest. Though these are psychological theories, but still, let's talk about them a bit, as this will help us to understand that why we use these theories and how reliable is the psychometric test for the assessment of various traits that actually going to help us in choosing correct career options and also help us in living a very happy and satisfied professional life. Okay, now let's talk about these theories and how they are correlated with each other, how they are going to play their role in the psychometric test, which actually going to produce a combined score for an individual, and that score is actually going to help us to understand the career clusters fit for that person. Now let's talk about the first one, CSC theory. So basically, Cattle, Horn, and Carroll theories is related with the measurement of the aptitude. Now, in general, we know that, when we talk about aptitude, so it's the first thing that comes that I'm good at reasoning, or I'm good at academics, I'm good at study and all. But when you talk about aptitude, it's not those few factors. It's like there are too many other factors. And if you see here that the CSC theory has categorized into them into a two different set. One is the major one and the minor. The one who is in the header are the major, and the below one, the subtraits, are the minor. So basically, CSC theory is actually going to calculate all these parameters, and combinedly it will produce a score that is going to help us to understand the aptitude level on various the parameters, which is the numerical, verbal, logical, spatial. These all things will this help us to understand the combined effect of the of these two all parameters. Now let's talk about the second one. It's a five-factor model. Now, five-factor model is basically going to help us to understand the personality of the person. So basically, it's a measurement of the personality. Now, just if you talk about that, the measurement of the personality is definitely will not work. So now it need to understand that, okay, what parameters we need to understand. Because in general, like if you must have heard from the people that he is introvert, he is extrovert, he loves this, he loves that, and all those things. So five-factor model is basically going to help us to understand the personality of the person based on the five factors. The first one is extraversion, second one is agreeableness, third one is openness to experience, the fourth one is conciseness, and the last one is neuroticism. Now, what exactly these components are? Let me explain these factors in a little bit of singular 2 lines. Now, extroverts, basically the people who enjoy interacting with people and are often perceived as a full energy. Openness to experience is a general appreciation for the art, adventures, imaginations, curiosities. So basically, people who are open to experience are basically a curious person who want to know the things, open to emotions, open to try new things. Conscientiousness, basically this is a tendency to display a self-discipline, act the dutiful, or you mean to say that strive to achieve something against some expectations and all those things. High consciousness is often perceived as being a stubborn, and low is basically a flexible and spontaneity. Agreeableness is the trait reflect individual differences in general concern for the social harmony. And the last one, it's basically neuroticism. So neuroticism is the tendency to experience negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, or depression. So overall, if you talk about the personality of a person, so this particular model is going to help us understand the personality of the person based on these 5 factors. And the last one is Holland's theory of vocation. Now, this will talk about the interest. Now, this is very important, the parameters while deciding the career options for a particular individual. Now, if you see here, so there are 6 different traits, or you mean to say 6 different interest areas. You can always also mention that. Now, if you talk about this, so basically here, if you see the things were realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, conventional. Now, investigative means that someone who is very keen to problem solving, coming up with the ideas, investigate something to find out, deal with something to figure it out something from the available resources like that. Artistic, some creative people who want to do something new, something in the world of creation. Okay, so let's talk about social. So social is something which is any type of service or any work related with the mankind, helping others, helping communities. So these all type of activities that comes under social. Enterprising, so enterprising, you can say that related with the entrepreneurs or the leaders, or having the leadership qualities, a person who would like to run the family business or his own business, etc. Conventional is something like anyone who's doing a job, a sort of a repetitive job. Every day I'm going to office, doing the same set of things in the office and coming back. There is something like, say for example, research work, every day I'm going to office, I'm doing the same set of procedures, waiting for the result and coming back, and then year by year I'm doing the same sort of experiments to get some result out of it. And the last one is realistic. So realistics are the people who love to do this physical work, who love to do the work by their own hand. They are like the doers, driving machines, working in in the farms, sort of like you can say in the building constructions and all those things. So these are the people who are the realistic one and love these type of. So overall, combining all the 3 theories leads to today's psychometric test. So now, better understand one individual, or to find out whether the career option is correct, or is there any other career option that's suitable for him or her. So basically, these are the 3 factors: aptitude, personality, and interest. And definitely, these 3 factors play a very important role, and you can say these are the backbones of the psychometric test, which gives us a combined score. And as I mentioned before as well, this combined score will help us to understand the various options, the career options that are available for a particular individual. Now, if you ask about who should give this test, my personal opinion, every single individual, whether a student or anyone who is currently in job, or anyone who is going to about to start a new job, are are all the persons who are suitable for this test, because this test is not about proving anybody wrong or right. It is all about understanding yourself, so that as a person you can enjoy your professional life, you can enjoy the the career options that you have going to select or selected based on the job profile that you are going to take it up or already there. And in case you are not happy or not satisfied, you can always take the help of this assessment to take up the new career or some better career that will suit your interest, personality and aptitude. Now, about the best time to take, definitely for the students class 10th or standard 10th, because this is the time where the child is going to take up select the stream in 10 plus 2. And if that time we will provide him this test, so definitely he is going to select a good stream, he is going to select a good career option, colleges, and all these things will fall in place automatically the moment he or she will aware of his strength and weaknesses. And definitely for anyone who is the job, anytime you feel that you are not happy with what you are doing, you should do something else in your life, right time, just take up the test. Okay, so with that, I think we come to a point where you should be able to understand that what exactly that psychometric assessment is all about, why we should take, how much reliable that test, and that's a completely scientific method. And definitely this is the sort of assessment which is going to help you in your professional life. As you see that nowadays even more than 75 companies and adopted the psychometric test as a part of level 1 selection process. And even for other also, some of the other way they are using this test to check the person who, or to test the person who is going to be the part of that organization. So thank you, and in case you have any queries, please feel to update in the comment part, and do subscribe to this channel so that we will be able to understand that what sort of the things we should post for you and how much you are liking. And definitely any comment or any queries going further, please feel free to update there. Thank you and have a nice day.